Hello, shalom, yom tov, l'kol mi shomei et ze. Hello, good day to everybody, and to everybody who hears this. Now, recently I finished already, 67 chapters from Rav Mordechai Hirschfeld on Techeles. I called it originally Techeles for Dummies, and now I changed, it's not nice, dummies, but so I changed it, Techeles for Beginners. Now, there's 67 chapters. I believe he gives us a Magi Cheer somewhere in Lakewood, Rabbi Hirschfeld. And I don't know him, but I looked him up, his phone number on the internet, and I called him up. I spoke to him a couple of times, him, his wife, and to ask permission to put these up. I think they're very important. He says the whole Shita of what Techeles is. I think he did a very good job. Now, we had some comments about different things. Rav Herzog, and one of the comments I mentioned, somebody asked me why Rav Herzog, or he asked me whatever, we talked about it, didn't like the Murex. What was his opinion? And different things about Rav Herzog. Now, so in short, Rav Herzog didn't like the Murex because there's 20, I explained to this fellow who asked me, it could be he calls himself Fake Wooder, it could be two different people ask me these things. Fake Wooder, by the way, Rav Hirschfeld lives in Lakewood. He's originally from my hometown of Montreal. So he asked about Rav Herzog. Now, the answer is, and by the way, I was also very curious about this. I'm a layman. I'm not a Talmud Chacham, but I look at these things, and I knew about this machlokas on Techeles from the day it started. I used to be mipalel bekereset Chasidi Bresla b'mei Shirim, Rebbe Vamori Rav Yudele Frank, who was big. He always put Techeles on. Not always, but he wore Techeles. And he gave his shver, the legendary tzaddik Rav Shmuel Shapiro. He took care of his tzitzis, put the cheles on. And as soon as it came out, we talked about it. And he said it's a big bluff. They found, we don't go by these scientists, they found, mounds and huge amounts of Murex shells. Good, we won't, meanwhile they talk about it in Rav Hirschfeld. Listen to Rav Hirschfeld. Now, by the way, another thing, one of my very good friends in Rabbanim, here where I live, Rav Eliyahu Atiyah, all of a sudden he started wearing Techeles. Now, he's Baki in Kol HaShas Kulo. Kol HaKabbalah Kulo, his father is Rosh Yeshiva of Rav Atiyah, Yeshiva Rav Atiyah, Kabbalah Yeshiva. And he himself he became a Breslover, and he recently switched to Techeles. He put up a video, you can find it you can look him up, Rav Atiyah Parshas Korach, and his main, and he's I don't want to say tzaddik, it says you shouldn't call people Bolam Hazeh tzaddik, but he's a very, very fine person. And I used to go to a shir every week until he moved it a little bit. He recently started wearing Techeles, and the shir on Parshas Korach, his main raya is the mounds of Techeles. They found a huge, the size of 100 meters by 40 meters wide, massive amounts of Murex. And this is his main proof, which is also the main proof that I heard from Rav Frank 40 years ago. Okay, so I put up, so this fellow asked me, Fake Wooder, I think one of his names, or one of the people that asked me, Fake Wooder, what about Rav Herzog? And he asked me, what are the 21? And so I answered him the 21 simanim. So he asked me, where we can find what was Rav Herzog? Now, I want to tell you before I get into this, I'm a balabais, and I called up Rabbi or doctor, I think he is, I don't know if he's a rabbi, I don't think he is, Dr. Baruch Strum. He's like one of the two heads of the Techeles people in Eretz Yisrael. He lives in Efrat, And I spoke to him, and he mamish gave me wrong information about it. I talked to him about it. First, I gave me wrong information. And he's written a book on this, on Techeles, and these other things, but he mamish, he doesn't know the sugya. And when people that don't know the sugya, I want to say shvach of Rav Eliyahu Tavker, who I've spoken to quite a few times about Techeles, and he was always mamish yashar, the inyan, and he answered me and gave me makorot, and he sent me things, and kol hakavod. So there are straight Techeles people. By the way, Eliyahu Tavker, his father-in-law, I know, I used to daven with him on Shabbos. He lives across the street from me. Okay, so he asked me for the 21 simanim. Now, I'm putting up, if you look at this, you'll see there's a picture of the chart that made of the 21 simanim. Now, a few words. This is Rav Noach David Isakovich, who is a Satmar Chassid, and in Brooklyn, and he put out a kuntras that somehow I found, but really it could be that I found it. I don't know. Somebody sent it to me on Dr. Baruch Sterman. He put it up. He has a big Techeles.org. You'll see the link there, and you can find it there. And It's 31 pages, and he goes through the 21 simanim, and he explains each one. I recommend you get the kuntras. Now, he wrote a bigger kuntras. It could be brought another simanim of the chilazon, of the sea creature that produces the Techeles. It's 91 pages, and I spoke to Dr. Sturman, and I asked him, I said, this is a much longer, he put it up, this kuntras, you'll find it in his thing, again, Techeles.org, but they came out, so I called up these people, and in New York, Guinness Varadim, it came out in the Torah Journal, and I had quite a talk with them there, and they told me there's a longer version of it. It's 90 pages, and I told Dr. Strum about it, and he said, yeah, send it to me, and I'll put it up, but I don't think he got around to putting it up, and if anybody wants it, you can send me an email or post your email. My email that I take these questions is y8411988 and if you want to send me an email, and I'll send you the long version. I don't think you'll find it. Now, in the short kuntras, and probably the long kuntras also, he brings these 21 simanim, as you see in the picture that's before your eyes right now. And by the way, in one of the 67 shirim, by the way, could be I skipped a few. I just looked recently because of different comments that chapter, 20, I left out, and I just reprinted chapter 20. And could be I have to check. Could be other simanim I left out also at the beginning, the 67 chapters. And in one of the, I have to interrupt a little bit now. There's a loudspeaker going around outside my home here. One of the big a big Zionist American rabbi, was Nifter, who I happened to have a run-in once. I went to see Rav Bullman. I was a big chassid of Rav Bullman maybe 30, 40 years ago. Mamash, I ran everywhere to see him. I was very impressed with him. And one night he couldn't come, and they sent the Zionist American rabbi there. And he said some crazy things, in my humble opinion. And, it was Niftar. So I'm having to interrupt. Okay, so there's 21 simanim, and you'll see the chart. It's right in front of your eyes. Okay. Now, one of the simanim is interesting. I happen to know about this. If you people that subscribe to me see that I put up, Rabbi Kaplan speaks about natural healing. Rabbi Kaplan, Haver Yalduseli, Groin Atzum, was not so healthy lately, and he had to go to doctors. And meanwhile, a natural doctor helped him, so he talked about this and put it up. I looked there. He's a rabbi. By the way, somebody wrote me. I once put up about 2 weeks ago a clip from Rabbi Kaplan. Should a bald shuva wear a strimal? So somebody wrote me, what a crazy subject. And I answered it, Eddie Rabbi Kaplan is Bucky in Kol HaShas, Kol Tosfos. Again, I don't say tzaddik, because it says you shouldn't call a person Bol Mazed tzaddik, but he's a very special person. And, okay, continuing to 21 simanim. By the way, I just want to put in something else. You'll read it there. You should go to techeles.org. And I think I said this, if you want the longer one, send me your email and I'll send you the 90-page version. The one that's posted is 30 pages. Okay. One of the simanim there is a cure. It's a Gemara in Aveda Zorah, Daf Yud Chet Ulai. I don't know. I'm too lazy to look at it right now. It's the Techeles fish is a refuah for hemorrhoids, whatever they call it, tahorim. Now, I'm into health foods. I follow it. I have a friend who's very, very big in these things. He's cured people of irreparable diseases. He's not mafoursome. He doesn't advertise himself. He doesn't give the name doctor. Like there's a guy that advertises on the radio, Yomam Balayla, doctor. So I was curious, where's he? He's really a doctor? So he got a mail-ordered doctorate in natural medicine from someplace in London. And he's on the radio selling his snake oil or whatever he sells there all the time. Okay. Now, one of the simanim there is it cures hemorrhoids. So my friend, I don't want to mention, he's very, very nichbal kelim, Rabbi Y. I don't want to even say it's enough already. He's an amazing person. He's cured people of incurable diseases. He told me, it's written in the homeopathic sources, I couldn't find it, I looked a little bit, that cuttlefish is a cure for hemorrhoids, which is mamish, a gemara mafurish of Aveda Zorah, Ayin Sham, in the kuntras of Rav Noach David Isakovich. So again, if anybody wants it, they can't get into techeles.org, it shouldn't be too hard, or they want the full version, 90 pages, send me your email and a comment, and I'll get back to you. Yom Tov. And by the way, this person asked me about Rav Herzog. So today or yesterday, I think it was Rav Herzog's Yortzeit. He was a great Talmud Chacham. I looked at his form a little bit. He was Gavalt. He was a great, great person. It's like Rav Yosef Chaim Zonenfeld when they made Rav Kook the rabbi. The first rabbi is a Kohen. Rav Kook was a Kohen. The second one will be a Levi. Mamash Nevuah from Rav Yosef Chaim Zonenfeld. The third one, Rav Unterman. I tried to find out about him. Could be he has a daughter that writes on the internet. He's not so fluent, but I don't know anything about Rav Unterman. And the fourth one will be a Mamzer. The fourth chief rabbi of Medina Israel was Rav Goren, who was also a very smart person, who was Matir Mamzerim. And I read all the tshuvas and about Rav Goren. Let's say a word that's not really shaykh to Techeles. One of his strong proofs, they went to Warsaw and they went to this Beis Din, and they couldn't find the Beis Din. Kol HaKavod, Rabbi Goren. The Warsaw was bombed out, burned down, especially the Jewish quarter. They didn't find the in the Beis Din. Okay, we'll go into the Mamzer of Rav Goren right now. Yom Tov, anybody that got to this far and heard all this, Kol Tov, Shavua Tov, Kol Tov.